Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing great and you might have viewed and enjoyed the previous video in which Kennedy has shared his vision behind Shamba Network and also shared his knowledge and experience related to the fields of geospatial science and blockchain technology. So today we'll be having Pierre Greeff, who is the founder and CEO of Monarch Labs. Basically he'll be telling us about himself and his venture. And obviously I'll be asking him some questions related to Monarch Labs and his vision behind the same. So without a further ado, let's welcome Pierre. Welcome Pierre. Thanks for joining in. I hope you are doing great. Thanks for giving your valuable time. So today I will be asking you some questions that the viewers might want to know from you related to yourself and also related to your startup Monarch Labs. So let's start. So first I would like to know what is Monarch Labs and what you are doing in that.
Well, thank you for having me, Said. So Monarch Labs is a software company. So we do development for dApps on Web3, and we also help other projects with consulting. So figuring out what kind of tokenomics they need, stuff like that, connection sizes, so on. So we can pretty much build any dApp. We have a pretty good team of developers. And then we have our own project called the Research Library, which is focused on analytics, managing data, improving or simplifying taxes, and then combining everything into a platform where people can communicate and get research on projects. Because the big thing in Web3 is there's a lot of scams.
Yeah.
And there's also limited information about how to really use stuff. So we want to simplify that. So you can find out how to use a wallet and blah, blah, blah. But we want to kind of combine all the aspects of NFT technology, cryptos, currencies, and make this platform where it's easier to use DeFi space.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be a great answer. So now I would like to know from you, what is the real motivation behind starting Monarch Labs? You must be having a great job as well that you are doing, and you are earning, I think, more what you are basically getting from Monarch Labs. So what is the motivation behind doing something out of the box by doing your own startup?
Well, as a professional, I'm a recruiter. So I work with many different companies. I mainly work in Asia. But I started Monarch Labs because I wanted to do something extra. I don't think you should just do one thing and kind of work 9 to 5, come home. I don't really like that lifestyle. So I decided to start Monarch Labs, not just for myself, but to help the community. And I also like the technology. So it's something fun I can do on the side on my own time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this technology goes.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, you seem to be motivated though, like a lot motivated in terms of taking Monarch Labs further. So now I would like to ask you the reason behind why you have only focused on Solana chain in the initial development stages of Monarch Labs.
So we wanted to start with NFTs, and Solana just it's faster, it's easier to use compared to other platforms. So Ethereum is big, but the wallet like MetaMask is kind of hard to use for newer users. So Phantom Wallet is great. It's so easy to use. You have it on your phone. It's just a simple platform. And originally we were going to have a token in the project. And because of the way we structured everything, because it's technically a SaaS platform, we wanted to keep the gas fees out of it. So if you're paying, say, a $10 subscription every month, you don't want to pay an extra $3 just for a network fee. Because we wanted to make the option available to pay in cryptocurrency as well to use our services. So that's our main reason, but we're not tied to a single chain because the project is focused on multi-chain support. It's just the NFTs itself that will be on Solana.
Okay, so what chains further that you are basically planning to add on? Any main chains that you have in mind?
So once the Solana integrations are done, we will integrate everything from Ethereum, Binance, Aptos, Polygon, everything.
Okay.
So we'll probably do Ethereum next, then Polygon and Binance, just because they have really big NFT marketplaces. And then from there, maybe move to Aptos or Sui, whatever new chains come out. But we also want to integrate central exchanges as well.
Okay.
So we can keep track of tokens or cryptocurrencies. Because there's really no point in tracking your profit and loss on just your NFTs. So it makes the data inaccurate. So we want to know when you deposited, say, dollars into your cryptocurrency of choice and then put it in your non-custodial wallet. So we need to make sure we calculate everything so it's as accurate as possible.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So now I would like to ask, I would like to know from you, what is the scope, behind the products that are there in the Monarch Labs, research library, portfolio manager, and what further products, you are looking to add onto on top of this, the existing ones?
So the portfolio manager is just the biggest part of it, because we're going to basically integrate that with a bunch of analytics. So you're going to be able to monitor volume on your own NFTs that you own. It's easy to go monitor collections you want to watch. But what we want to do is build in a notification system so you can know when to sell or when to buy potential based off volume changes. We have basic tools like a bulk transfer tool. We will have a DEX, airdrop tool. We will have things like a whitelist manager. You can track your earnings from tokens that you earn from staking NFTs and stuff like that. So it's basically to do with what you hold and potentially looking at what to hold. And the key thing about this whole project is research, making it safer. So combining all of that into a single platform so it's easier to use.
Okay. So as you have mentioned NFTs, so would you like to explain what NFTs are basically you will be publishing on the portfolio manager or so, and also what is the significance of those?
So our NFTs or the portfolio manager?
Yeah, both if you can explain both. Yeah. And also the significance of the general term NFTs, because I think there is a lot of misunderstanding with the name NFT, I think, in the market.
Okay. So let's start with NFTs, I guess.
Yeah.
So as people know, it's a non-fungible token.
Yeah.
I think for people that don't understand the Web3 space, it's not a picture. NFT is not a picture.
Totally.
The cryptocurrency can become an NFT. All it means is there's a set amount of tokens or whatever you want to call it, and there can never be more. There can be less if you burn them, and they cannot be altered because they're on the blockchain. Now, I think the NFTs really exploded because of the art, because it makes it a little bit different. But it's also kind of shown the cons about using a picture as an NFT.
Yeah.
So we are changing the way our NFTs work a little bit.
Okay.
So we will have 3 tiers. Each tier will provide you different levels of access. Versus tier 1 will only give you access to portfolio manager. So if you just want to do your taxes, that's what tier 1 will. Tier 2 will give you access to a few more things. So you can get the notifications on volume changes on NFTs you haven't sold yet. Or if you want to know about NFTs you've sold, you can kind of set calendars and stuff to let you know what happens. Okay. And then tier 3 will have everything. And then also take away fees if you want to use additional tools. It's like the bulk transfer tool. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are the future things that you are looking to add onto the top of this?
On top of the NFTs?
No, actually on top of the on top of the available products in the Monarch Labs, what is the future product that you are planning to add on?
There is one more product we're planning, which is quite big. So we will add an education platform.
Okay.
We've spoken a little bit about it in the white paper. We're actually going to remove the white paper because it doesn't really make sense for our project. But the education portal will be like a platform where professionals will come and host courses, and then people can buy them. Anything to do with Web3. This can be development, like how to use the blockchain, what is a blockchain, and so on.
Totally. Yeah. So I would like to know from you, I basically ask this question to all the founders that I interview mostly. So now I would like to know from you that where are you seeing Monarch Labs in the next 5 years or so?
Well, hopefully we'll be one of the top software companies. We really need to see what happens in the market. I think it's moving very quickly, but as it moves forward, we see loopholes, we see problems in the technology, but we're hoping to be one of the top providers, either in terms of software development for our projects or just our project itself, being one of the leading projects to manage your portfolio at the very least.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So actually while starting, like why you adopted the blockchain technology? You can also start with like Web2 interface only. So what is the impact that you are seeing with the that guys are making with the use of blockchain these days, especially Monarch?
I think for me, the key thing is decentralizing everything. So I actually come from an IT background. I used to set up networks and computers and stuff like that. So I have a good understanding of how networks and infrastructure works. And also just banking in general. I don't really necessarily agree with how the banking system works. Like people, what was it, in China with the whole real estate crisis they're having, people refusing to pay mortgages, banks went and stopped them from withdrawing money or limiting them.
Due to population?
Your trust...
Sorry, due to population?
No, to the real estate market. So there was this big crisis with their big real estate developer. People basically said, I'm not paying my mortgage anymore because the developers are not completing their buildings. So now the banks are running out of money and people are starting to withdraw money, and they kind of halted or prevent them from taking out too much money so the bank has money to keep up. And I don't like that. And with the blockchain technology, it's decentralized. You own your money. It's in a non-custodial wallet. Now, on the other hand, seed phrases are a big problem. If you lose your seed phrase, you lose everything.
Definitely.
Which is not necessarily a good thing. So we need to find another solution on how to save seed phrases safely. I know Samsung has a thing where you can save your seed phrases, but I don't know if I trust something like that, because it's going back to a
centralized. Yeah.
Yes. And other than that, it's like your email. Like Google has access to all your emails if you use Gmail, for instance. If you put it on the blockchain, it's broken down into blocks and it's saved across the network. Now it's slower, but I think with the current technology we have when it comes to internet and the power of just personal computers, this shouldn't be too big of an issue. Like right now, we could probably handle quite a decent amount of traffic on the blockchain directly. But I think for, say, just an email client to successfully run on the blockchain will take a while. Like we're pretty far off from full decentralization. And I think we need to stick to like a hybrid model for at least the next, say, 5 years, just to see how things evolve.
Okay. So like I have a follow-up question, like with the scenario that you have explained in China related to banks and all. So like I think that's the case in the entire world these days. Like what are your thoughts on the market? Like the bear market especially, like the economic instability that we are seeing these days. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's hard to say. Like we look at the US economy, there's still a lot of layoffs happening, especially in the tech sector. Tens of thousands of people are being laid off from big companies.
Yeah.
And we haven't really felt the impacts yet. Inflation is up through the roof. Like everybody's feeling that for sure.
Yes.
But I think in another 6 months or so is when we're really going to start seeing the effects, unless they do something drastic. I know, like in Canada, the government started reducing taxes, income taxes. Well, technically it's indirectly decreasing it. They also gave everybody like a small discount on their electricity bills. So governments are helping. How much that really helps, I'm not sure. So we'll have to wait. The crypto and stocks have gone up quite a lot, but I would be careful. It might be temporary.
Okay. So like since you are from Canada and US and Canada, I think these are known as for the first world. Like they are known.
Yes, they're both threshold.
So,
But we heavily rely on the US economy because there's a lot of trade happening between us.
okay. So what is the condition of blockchain and Web3 in the first world, especially?
So I haven't personally experienced any issues yet. Like I can easily buy crypto, sell crypto, hold it, not a problem. But from watching some videos of other people, and it seems like the US and Canada and Europe is moving kind of backwards. They're very against it.
Okay.
And they're trying to push the CBDCs. I believe that's what they're called. And I think that's just going to be bad for the whole DeFi space.
Okay.
Now, I don't think they're completely against being decentralized, but they want to understand what's happening, where money is going, because you cannot have a strong economy if you're hiding money.
Yes, agreed.
Just look at all the fake money they're printing and bringing into countries. That's hurting the economy. All the money from drug trafficking, it's all laundered into the economy. It's inflating the economy artificially.
Okay.
And it ends up being a bad thing. So I think what they really want to do is make sure they understand where the money is going and how it's being used.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest point. But I might be wrong. I'm not a finance expert. Just my view on it.
Okay. So seems like the large portion of money is from the black market of black. Is it correct? The large portion. So actually the large.
Well, it can be, right? People say they use Bitcoin to launder, which is really not true because everything's on a public ledger. That's what a blockchain is. So you can go trace all the transactions. Now, some transactions are very complex because they can use scramblers and I think it was Zcoin or Zcash.
Okay.
I believe they hide your wallet address or something. So there are, and what is that other one? XMR? Monero, that's the one.
Okay.
They're kind of making your transactions private, so it's harder to trace. Yes, but
So they are
there's a lot of money.
So they are not taxable as well. If
They are,
Okay.
but how far, I'm not sure. Like, there's too much going on in blockchain for me to know everything.
Yeah.
I try to keep up with what's happening, but it's difficult. I like to take an overall view on what's happening, not just in the local economy, but the global economy, because it gives me a good idea of what people want and what they're gonna do. And I mean, we saw what happened when COVID hit. Like, people got very scared. People spent less money. Same thing when the jobs started getting cut and inflation went up, they started selling their stocks. So you want to kind of watch these trends, and that just helps you manage your business better.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. So now I would like to ask you a common question that I usually ask with most of the founders, and also I'll be definitely asking to the founders that I'll be interviewing in future as well. So that's what's your advice or suggestion that you want to give to the youngsters who are basically looking forward to do their own startups, and especially in the field of blockchain, Web3, and especially in these times of bear market particularly?
I think that the most important thing is just to build.
Totally, yeah.
Keep building, and if you want to start a business, even if it's not just related to Web3, just start. You don't need money to start a business. Just make a plan, find some people with common interests, and work together to make it happen. That's the first part, just start.
Yeah.
You will figure everything out as you go. That's just how businesses work. They're never successful from day one. You can do all the planning in the world. It's not going to work. We have actually changed Monarch Labs multiple times to kind of get to a simpler platform than what we were before.
Yeah.
And then second thing is get educated on how finance and blockchain technologies really work and how you can utilize it in the real world. Because if you have no real world utility, your project is probably not going to make it.
Okay. So why people say it's good to build in bear market?
Well, but people that stand out in the end. If you just build in the hype period or the bull market, you're basically just using the hype to do something, and you don't really have any issues or struggles that you have to face while building. So we look at a lot of big projects, they're failing. Out of this bear market, they're completely failing.
Okay.
Where the projects is building in the bear market, they have challenges. Where's the money coming from? No one's spending money. No, you have to think a little bit. You actually need to run a business. I think that's the big difference.
Definitely. So you are also basically building in the bear market, right? Currently.
Yes, we've been building just over a year now.
Okay.
And we started just before the market crash. I think the development started in April, and I think Terra Luna collapsed in May, something like that. Yeah, so that's been kind of difficult because we haven't been able to raise any money through NFT sales. So we just decided, okay, we're going to slow it down. We're going to build it properly. So that gave me time to really redesign everything the way we needed it.
Okay. So, and also I would like to add one more question. What's your advice in terms of team building? How a person who is basically looking forward to do his or her startup, what criteria should he adopt in order to build a successful team and in order to build a robust team, basically?
I think the important thing, and I guess what helps me a lot is I'm a recruiter. I've been recruiting for many years, so I'm used to finding people for other companies, so I know what to look for in terms of technical skills.
Okay.
But I think the most important thing if you want to hire a person is they have to have the same vision and the same passion. Their skill sets are not 100% what you need. That doesn't matter. If you have a developer, let's say just front end, that's okay. It will take them longer to build, but the developers are all the same. They're very technical. They have very analytical minds. So to be a good front-end developer, you do need to know quite a few languages.
Definitely, yeah.
And if you can read those languages, you can read the other coding languages like Rust or backend languages as well, like MySQL and so on. So find people with the same passion, same mindset, and that actually want to do it.
Yes.
So for us as a developer, just get someone that has enough skills that can take on the role and just give them time to learn. There are not that many Web3 developers. It's a very new space. DeFi is pretty new. Blockchain, quite a bit older, but just the blockchain technology itself, there's not a lot of building involved like we see in the DeFi world with NFTs, with staking, raffles. There's so many things they're doing with NFT technologies now, combining it with other things. It's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Other than that is try to find people close to you, ideally.
In terms of location?
People that
close to you in terms of location?
Location would be better. It's always good to be able to meet people in person. In my case, my team is all over the world. It's okay. I'm used to working with people globally. But what I made sure is that I'm able to talk to them on a regular basis. There needs to be communication.
Yeah.
If you're not communicating with the team, it's gonna fail.
Yeah, totally agreed. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. We have covered a lot, more than expected. So, see you soon. And
I appreciate your time.
Okay, bye.
Then I'll talk to you again.
I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and get to know about Monarch Labs and its creator. So I am sharing the Twitter handle of Monarch Labs in the description down below, so you guys can follow them to stay updated about their progress and the amazing work that they are doing. Thanks for watching. See you soon in the next video.